In the shadow of ancient mountains lies the secluded town of Moonridge, a place steeped in legend, where whispers of the past echo through the trees. Every full moon, fear grips the hearts of its people, haunted by a curse that binds them to a dark secret. But for one brave soul, the call of the unknown is irresistible. Will she unravel the threads of the past, or will the curse claim her too? Join us as we delve into the chilling tale of the Howling of Moonridge. In the small, secluded town of Moonridge, nestled between dense forests and looming mountains, the townsfolk spoke in hushed tones about the curse that befell their ancestors. Every full moon, the air thickened with an uneasy energy, and strange sounds echoed through the night. The locals knew better than to wander outside after dark, especially on those fateful nights. Evelyn, a curious and adventurous young woman, had always been fascinated by the tales of the werewolves. Her grandmother, the town's unofficial historian, had filled her childhood with stories of the cursed bloodline, passed down through generations. Despite the warnings, Evelyn felt an irresistible pull to uncover the truth. On the night of the next full moon, she decided to venture into the woods. With only a flickering flashlight and a sense of determination, Evelyn stepped into the forest, the trees looming like silent sentinels. As she walked deeper, the air grew colder, and the sounds of the night shifted. The usual rustle of leaves was replaced by an eerie silence, only broken by the occasional distant howl. Hours passed, and just as the moon reached its zenith, she stumbled upon an ancient stone altar, overgrown with moss and ivy. It felt like a place of power, pulsating with an energy that sent shivers down her spine. As she examined the altar, she noticed strange markings carved into the stone, symbols resembling wolves intertwined with human forms. Suddenly, a low growl resonated through the darkness. Evelyn's heart raced as she turned, the beam of her flashlight cutting through the blackness. There, emerging from the shadows, was a massive creature, part man, part wolf, with fur as dark as midnight and eyes glowing like embers. Paralyzed by fear, Evelyn watched as the werewolf took a step forward, its breath visible in the cold air. Memories of her grandmother's stories flooded her mind, the transformation, the insatiable hunger, the tragic fate of those who succumbed to the curse. She realized this wasn't just a tale, it was reality standing before her. The werewolf sniffed the air, its gaze fixed on her. In that moment, Evelyn felt an odd connection, a shared loneliness that transcended the terror. She instinctively reached out, driven by a deep, unexplainable urge. To her surprise, the creature paused, its growl softening to a low whine. Just then, the moonlight bathed the altar in an ethereal glow, and the werewolf took another step, closer. Evelyn could see the pain in its eyes, the struggle between the beast and the man within. She recalled her grandmother's words, "Only those with a pure heart can break the curse." Summoning her courage, Evelyn whispered, "You don't have to be alone." As if sensing her sincerity, the creature halted, staring at her with a mix of rage and yearning. She reached for the markings on the altar, tracing her fingers over the symbols as the creature watched, its breath heavy with anticipation. A sudden burst of light enveloped the altar, and Evelyn felt a surge of energy coursing through her. The werewolf howled, a sound that echoed through the night, a mixture of agony and hope. The forest trembled as the transformation began. Slowly, the beast shrank, its fur receding, muscles relaxing, until a man stood before her, breathless and bewildered. "Thank you," he whispered, eyes filled with tears. "I've been trapped for so long." Evelyn realized she had broken the curse, but there was no time for celebration. They could hear the distant sounds of the town, people gathering, drawn by the howling. If they were to escape, they had to leave now. Together, they dashed through the forest, the man's hand clasped tightly in hers. As they emerged from the trees, they saw the townsfolk, torches flickering, searching for the source of the cries. But instead of fear, they felt the weight of centuries of sorrow lifting, replaced by a sense of community and understanding. Evelyn and the man, who introduced himself as Thomas, stood before the gathered crowd. "We must end the fear," Evelyn spoke, her voice steady. "The curse can be broken, but only if we face it together." As the first light of dawn broke, the townsfolk began to murmur among themselves. The The legends had terrified them for too long, but now they could see that hope was possible. Together, they would rewrite their story. From that day forward, the full moon brought not just fear, but a celebration of unity and courage. Thomas, now free, became a guardian of the forest, ensuring the legends of old transformed into tales of bravery, love, and redemption. And in Moonridge, the howling that once echoed through the woods was now a symbol of freedom, a reminder that even in the darkest of nights, the light of understanding could break any curse.